Hey up everyone, I hope that you're all doing alright. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if it's your first time here. Hope you've all had a good week so far. My week has been pretty hectic, pretty full on, and I've just spent the weekend just kind of like recovering, relaxing, spending it with a person that I care about, and yeah, just been trying to just like recover as best I can, prepare for the week coming up, which hopefully should be a little bit less like full on. But yeah, it's been a lot this week, so my weekend I've just been like, I'm not gonna do much, I'm just gonna chill, spend some time like doing things I like, and yeah, it's been good. I hope you've had a good weekend as well. But yeah, today's build is a cottage, as you can tell by the title, and it's part of a collab that I was invited to be part of, hosted by Michaela Sims. And I think Michaela is the only host, but I kind of feel like there's another person that's hosting it as well, like maybe it's a joint thing. I'm not very well prepared for this voiceover. I've just sat down and thought, oh god, I need to do voiceover and post the speed build and stuff. I'd like totally forgot about it because like I said, I've like spent the weekend just like relaxing, and I thought, oh my god, I need to actually like post it. So yeah, I've managed to do that obviously because you're watching this video now, so I've posted it on time and everything. But yeah, just with loads going on, my brain's just been a bit like full of other stuff. But I've got it sorted. The build's been done for a while. I think I finished it like, I want to say like Wednesday, and I finished editing it like yesterday, and I just needed to like pop the voiceover on and everything. But yeah, the collab is a save file and it's called Sweater Weather. So you might have heard of the first one, the Sweater Weather collab, where a group of builders got together and built like autumnal themed builds. And yeah, this is just that, but it's 2.0, so it's the second round of it. And yeah, thank you to Michaela for inviting me to be part of it. I really appreciated that, especially because I think I was on break at the time I was invited, so it was nice to like still be considered to like join a building collab and everything. And yeah, my build is a cottage, and I saw I got some inspiration off Pinterest. I saw this like little model thingy art thing. I'll pop a picture on screen. I'm at a loss for words today. But yeah, I saw it on Pinterest and I've been wanting to build it for a while. So I've like banked it, saved it away as like one of my build inspirations. And I thought, oh, that would be like a cute little like cottage to build for this collab. So that's what I've done today. And it's intended for a couple with pets. So it could be a single sim or a couple. But yeah, it's a 1-bedroom house. And I say it's intended for pets, but I don't think I really put enough stuff down for pets. I just put down the pet food bowls, but what I'm trying to do is when I build a house that's intended for pets, I don't want to like customize it too much to like be specific for a certain type of pet, you know what I mean? Like if you move in, you could get a cat or a dog. You just have to buy like a bed for it if that's what you wanted to do. But honestly, when I play with pets, which is not very often, but when I do, I don't get them a pet bed because I don't like the pet beds that we've got, unless it's a small animal like a small dog or a cat. I'll use those little round ones that we got with cats and dogs, those little round pet beds. I don't like the big square ones. I think they're a bit like they're just too big, and I don't like the look of them and stuff. It's just like a blanket on floor. So yeah, I just let my pets sleep wherever they want. I let them sleep on furniture and everything. So I just kind of left out any like pet themed things like toys and all that, and just thought you can, if you do download it and you want to have pets and stuff, you can just put down what you want. And if you don't want the pets, you can just delete the food bowl, and you're not like having to worry too much about getting rid of stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that this build is not like super autumnal, so it matches the vibe of the collab and the save file. My main goal for it was to make it cozy, which is like something that I think of when I think of like autumn time, when it gets all windy and rainy. We're very much in autumn time in the UK right now. I don't think it's like officially summer is over, but it feels like it. I think we're still in like British summertime, so I think we're an hour ahead, and I don't think the clocks go back well like October, but we've very much got autumnal like weather where it's like a bit cold, but when you get walking you're like sweating. It's been rainy, windy, a bit miserable. It's not been great, but apparently we're getting a heat wave next week, so I don't know like what's going on, climate change and all that, but I quite like autumn. I like the coziness to it, you know, like when you get home and you're a bit cold and you like stick eating on, get a dressing gown on, get all like comfy and stuff. Obviously you can do that any time of year, but in summer it's not as like fun because you're just like getting in from it being too hot and you can't really cool down and it's like stressful. Whereas autumn, it's like, that's what it's all about. It's all about being indoors and being comfy, and I think it's like more acceptable to stay indoors, whereas summer, I feel like the consensus is, no, get outside while it's nice and warm. We don't get it. We don't get like the summer sunny weather and stuff like that. You've got to appreciate it. So get outside and do some activities. Whereas I'm very much like an indoor person. I really love just being in my house, doing like fun things indoors. I'm not a very like outdoorsy person at all. Yeah, I'm just an indoor person. So that's my thing. But yeah, that's what my goal was with the build, was to just make it cozy on the interior and use some like kind of neutral, like natural colours with like plants and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully I did a good job. I did want to put a fireplace in the build, but there just weren't really enough room, so I ended up not doing that, which ultimately I think that's what a cozy build needs. Like, you've always got to have a fireplace. Like, that's the ultimate like cozy thing in it, to have like a roaring fire going, and you've got like blankets and throws and cushions all over the place, and there's like minimal lighting, and the main light is coming from the fireplace. It's just nice. Like, I'd love to have a fireplace in my house, but I've been considering like getting an electric fire, but I don't know where I'd put it, because where my living room layout is kind of awkward, because I've got like this big corner settee, and there's only one place for it to go because of the layout of my house and everything. So I'm kind of like thinking maybe one day I'll get an electric fire and then I'll just have a different settee and stuff, because at the minute there's no real place for the fire to go. But yeah, anyway, with that being said, I'll talk about the build now. So yeah, I decided to kind of go a little bit minimal on the landscaping. I wanted to have like this flower bed thing where there's like more of like a natural, what's the word? Like a natural design to it, I guess. So it's like wildflowers, some like bushes, a few succulent plants thrown in there. I didn't want it to look too like polished and tidy, but I didn't want it to look too overgrown and messy, you know what I mean? So I wanted that like in between thing where it's like wildflowers, and I used some debug rocks. I think they're from Horse Ranch, and they've got this like curve to them, which I liked. So I put them down to like make a little rock border for the flower bed, which is something that I want to do in my garden. It was my goal in the summer to create like a little flower bed thing, but I just never got around to it. My summer was very hectic. My life turned upside down. It was all over the place. So a lot of my plans over the summer have kind of altered a lot, but I'm hoping next summer is the one where I get my garden sorted, because it's in desperate need of a makeover. But it's money and time with gardening, like, and I think when you've got like your own home and stuff, you focus on the interior because that's where you spend most of your time, and you want that to like look all right, and your garden is just kind of like an afterthought. But then when it comes to summer, it's like, oh my god, I need to get my garden sorted. And yeah, mine's just, it's too big for me to like manage, and I get a bit overwhelmed with it and stuff, and there's never like a good time to like see to it, and I'm not very like strong, so a lot of the stuff I need to do, like cutting the hedges and that, I can't hold a hedge cutter above my arms for very long. So I usually have to rely on a gardener. My gardener no longer exists. I've not been able to get in touch with him for months, so they don't cut my hedge anymore, so I had to like rely on family. And yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest, but it doesn't matter, it's right. But yeah, with the inspiration picture, I wanted to replicate, there's a lot of like potted plants on the decking thing, so I put a bunch of like plants that have got like that terracotta pot, which were a bit difficult because I did pack restrict this build because I didn't want to use too many packs. Obviously that's the point in pack restricting. I think the save file itself uses any and all packs, so if you do want to download it, just keep that in mind. But I thought, for me personally, I just wanted to like pack restrict it, so I just used Horse Ranch and Cats and Dogs, I think, because I built it in Brindleton Bay, so I thought it makes sense to use Cats and Dogs. And yeah, I really love the new pack. I mean, it's not that new now, but the new expansion pack, Horse Ranch, I love all the items that come with it. I especially love the rocking chairs. I feel like I'll want to use them in every build now. I think they're just like a nice thing to like stick on a front porch or whatever. It just looks right like homely and stuff. And then yeah, for the rest of the landscaping, I went with this like gravel floor paint thing, and then I did another flower bed as well. And I wanted to have a bit of an area for chickens because I use cottage living as well. But yeah, I wanted a little area for chickens, but I ended up not doing that. I'm kind of regretting it now though, but No, well, it is done now, like the build's finished, so I'm not going back and changing it. But yeah, I kind of wanted a little area for chickens, but then I forgot that I wanted to do that. So I finished doing the landscaping, and then when I was doing the interior, I was like, oh, the chickens, I forgot about the chickens. So no chickens, unfortunately, but there is space for them. I'd just recommend maybe expanding the fence a little bit and putting a fence around them, because otherwise they could walk about and it can be a little bit annoying. But I'm trying to think if there's what else to say about the exterior. I think that's it. But yeah, anyway, interior then. So the floor plan for this one were a little bit awkward because I didn't really know where to put the stairs, and I knew that I wanted to have an upstairs bathroom and a bedroom. So I had to like kind of figure out where I was going to put the stairs, but then where I put them, where it made sense for the upstairs, it kind of looked awkward downstairs because there was like a gap between the entryway wall, so they were just like in the middle of the room. So I just put like a smaller half bathroom that's just a toilet and a sink, and I really like the entrance bit. We got a new like coat hanger thing where you can hang like clothing. I do wish though that we got, you know, like with Horse Ranch, we got them clothes that I've put on that little hanger. I wish we got them where they're just coats, because I like the one that I put on, it's fine, but then it's got a pair of jeans, and I'm a bit like, no, that like spoils it. We just need a hanging thing that's just coats, and then you can hang it up, and that's like your coat hanger thing when you walk into your house. But yeah, bathroom's pretty basic. I just obviously, like I said, put a toilet and a sink, and for the entryway I wanted a little seating area as well, but it kind of took me ages to figure out like how I wanted the layout. I got there in the end, but it were a bit like back and forth, and I had to cut out a lot of the footage and everything, because obviously it's a bit annoying to watch if I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, keep deleting stuff. But yeah, I figured it out in the end, and I think I ended up changing it a little bit, but I was happy with like the final result. And the flooring as well, that were another one I was struggling with, because the flooring that's in the entryway, it's got like this worn look to it, and there's another version that I used in the rest of the house that looks a little bit like weird. It's got this like blue tint to it, and I just didn't like the look of it. So I ended up changing it, I think, to the cottage living wood flooring. But yeah, that's the entryway. It's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, how are you lot doing? How's your week been so far? I'd love to know, so feel free to let me know in the comments how you've been getting on. Like I said, my week has been proper hectic. I feel like I've had a million appointments, and I think I've only had 2. But just, you know, when you just feel like there's a lot going on, like I had a lot of errands to run, so I had to go to the library and like print some stuff off, and the library shuts at 5, and I turned up at like 25 to 5. And I was like, yeah, can I go on the computer and print some stuff off? And they were like, yeah, but the computer shuts off at like 1:15 and we have no control over it. So I was like, oh, right. Logged on computer. Didn't know how to transfer, because I've got the file on my phone that I wanted to print off. I didn't know how to transfer it from my phone to the computer. Normally I would do that is like use, I think it's like Nearby Share, but it weren't picking up my phone. So I tried sending the file to my Google Drive and then logging on to Google Drive and downloading it to the library computer, printing it that way. But my phone didn't want to do that. It was like, no, you have to use Wi-Fi, sorry. So I tried connecting to the library Wi-Fi, wouldn't work. It was like 4:42 and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have to leave it because I was getting really stressed out. So I went to the library person and I was like, hey, it's not working, I don't know what to do. It's on my phone, and they were like, oh, if you want to print it off your phone, you can just send it directly to the computer using like a link that we've got. So you just type in this link, type in your password and all that, and then done. So I was like, all right. So did that, managed to print it off, and then I had loads of stuff to photocopy. So at like 4:45, I had loads of things to photocopy, and it was like back-to-back photocopying, and also I don't know how to use a photocopy machine, so I was like, I don't know how to print it so that it does it back to back. And she was like, oh, you can't do that. You have to photocopy one side and then turn it over and photocopy that side. And I was like, are you sure? Because I've got about 30 pages to photocopy, but it'll be 60 because I have to turn them over. So she was like, oh, right, I don't know. Anyway, this other person helped me, got it sorted. And at 4:58, I left the library like, at least I've done it on time. And then I had to like go to shop and run some other errands like the next day, because you know when you just got like loads to do and you think, oh well, I'll do it all in one go. I had to return some stuff to the shop. I had to post something, and I thought I can't do all this in one go, like it's just too much. So I thought I'll do the library thing today and then I'll go to the shop tomorrow. So I did that on the Friday. I had an appointment on like Tuesday. Or Wednesday or Monday, I can't remember. I had an appointment Wednesday or Thursday. Oh my god, I've had loads of stuff going on this week, that's what I mean. It's been like that, like chaotic and just a bit overwhelming. So next week I'm going to try and do less and just try and, like, I don't know, take it easier, which is obviously not always possible when you've got your own house and a family to take care of and all the rest of it. But yeah, anyway, I'll talk about the build a bit more now. So for the bedroom, the layout were a little bit awkward because I expanded the bedroom a little bit. Not the bedroom, the bathroom. It's like I could have made it a little bit bigger and it were a bit awkward to like kind of fit everything in. I was happy with it in the end, but I was just a bit like, I'm not sure if the bedroom's like right, I don't really like it. But then when it all was furnished and it all came together, I was like happy with it. But the bathroom is just a bit weird because I've got like this little bit where the bath goes in and then this long bit where it's like toilet at one end, sink at the other, and it's a very like awkward shaped bathroom in my opinion. But I don't know, it worked out in the end. But there was no other real way to do it without taking up space, because obviously you need to have it at least 2 tiles wide and 2 tiles long to fit the bath, but then you need space for your Sims to be able to walk, to get to the toilet and sink and all that sort of stuff. So it whatever, it worked out in the end. But yeah, I didn't really have a style idea in mind for the bedroom, but I liked that bedding, so I tried to decorate and furnish around using those colours. So I used a bit of green and red, and then there's that like orangey wood colour, and then I put down some little dog statues as well, little figurines and that, 'cause I think they're very cute. And then for the balcony, I really liked the idea of having the balcony, but then when it came to decorating it, I just felt that when you looked at the build as a whole, like when I zoomed out and everything, it looked a bit too cluttered and something about it was just annoying me. So it kind of took a while to settle on what I wanted. So I ended up just doing 2 rocking chairs. And looking at it now, I kind of wish I'd have put like an easel out there just so that there's something else to do. Because I feel like your Sims don't autonomously usually go up to a balcony and just sit on it if there's no else there to do. But it was just more for aesthetics, I guess. And then I went round and put some more plant pots down, and I had to change the layout of the entrance to the like main part of the house. Well, it's not really the main part, well I guess it is, to the kitchen, dining, living area bit. I ended up changing it. I think it was because I didn't know how to, when I was trying to do the layout on the interior like downstairs, I didn't know where to put stuff because the doors would have been on that big wall where the stairs are, and it just didn't look right from the inside. So I ended up just putting some tall windows there, and I thought, right, that'll be where the dining area is, but then I ended up changing my mind and have that as the living room anyway. But yeah, it was a bit chaotic. It was a bit one of them builds where there weren't much of a plan going into it. I knew what I wanted it to look like, but I weren't really sure how to execute it. But I got there in the end, like I said. And then yeah, for the kitchen, it's quite small, but I think it does what it needs to do. And I started off with these swatches of the kitchen counters and everything, and I just thought they looked a bit out of place, and I wanted a more like neutral colour, is that the right word, I guess, like a lighter colour swatches and that. So I ended up changing it a little bit later, and I added some more windows and everything and a dining table. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how the whole thing turned out. I like the layout of it downstairs. I think it makes sense and stuff. Even though while I was building it, I was like, does this look right? Does it look a little bit, I don't know. See, that's my main thing. I struggle with floor plans and where to put certain rooms and stuff. I try and think of it in a way where gameplay wise, is this going to make sense? So obviously I always want to have my dining area near my kitchen, because when Sims make the food, they go and sit down, they're going to go to the nearest seat usually. And obviously they'll usually opt for sitting on a dining table, but then if there's like a settee close to the kitchen, sometimes they'll go and sit on that. So I try and like think of it in terms of gameplay, like what's going to make sense. So once your Sims have done eating, what are the needs going to look like? Are they want to go to the toilet? So I try and have a downstairs bathroom that's near the kitchen so that they can just go to the toilet and stuff like that. But then I also don't want the toilet to be too near the kitchen, because then Sims will wash the pots in the bathroom sink. So it's, I try and think of it in terms of like, what's this going to look like when you're actually playing? Is it going to be awkward to look at? So yeah, that's, I hope that makes sense. I feel like I've kind of stumbled my way through the explanation of that one. But yeah, let me know what you think to the build and if you like it and everything. I really like how it turned out. Like I said, there were a lot of back and forth, a lot of like indecisiveness from me, but overall I was quite happy with it, and I like all the little decorative stuff that I did. I had a lot of fun building it. It was nice. Cottages are one of my favourite builds to do, along with like modern builds and stuff, so I might end up doing a modern build next, but I'm not sure. I've got a couple that I've been working on, and I'm not sure if I'm like going to continue working on them, because I'm kind of, you know, when you're building something and you're like, oh god, I don't know what else to do, or you're kind of like stuck. That's where I'm at on a couple of builds, so I don't know whether to scrap them or just kind of push on and see what happens. But yeah, let me know what you thought to the build, and let me know in all, what do you think to the new stuff pack that's coming out? I'm really excited. I will say though, I'm still waiting on a kettle and a toaster. Like, when's that coming out? Where's the stuff pack for that? But yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you all, and I hope that you enjoyed this one. And if you did, feel free to leave a like on it and let me know what you thought to the build, and I will link all the information as well in the description about the save file, and you'll be able to download it and everything from the description. And I'll also put a link to everybody's like bits in the description as well, where you can have a look at the rest of the collab, and I definitely recommend that you do so, because there's some proper nice builds. But yeah, with all that being said, I'm going to go and leave you to watch the build tour now. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you all have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye!